Years had passed before Yi Zhongming's unsettling encounter with a peculiar monster baby. The memory of that encounter lingered, casting a shadow over his thoughts like a haunting nightmare. However, in those days, the true nature of such creatures remained largely unknown to humanity, shrouded in mystery and fear. Yi Zhongming, with a heavy heart, recognized the grim reality unfolding before him, a day of reckoning where many would meet their end. Despite this awareness, he hesitated to intervene, understanding the delicate balance between risk and reward that governs survival in this post-apocalyptic world. It was a harsh truth, one drenched in the blood of countless lives. As he prepared for the impending chaos, Yi Zhongming imparted his wisdom and guidance upon his companions. Each instruction was delivered with solemnity, a testament to the gravity of their situation. They listened intently, their minds absorbing every word, knowing that their very survival depended on their understanding of these dire circumstances. Meanwhile, across the city, Qin Xiaobo embarked on his own journey of survival and discovery. From the ashes of fear and despair, he emerged as a beacon of resilience and adaptability. His encounters with the undead and the unknown hardened his resolve, transforming him into a leader among the ragtag band of survivors. It was during one fateful expedition to Pearl Lake that Qin Xiaobo stumbled upon the enigmatic treasure basin, its presence a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness. With trembling hands, he activated its arcane powers, unlocking a world of possibilities previously thought unattainable. The revelation of evolution potions and job scrolls sparked a flame of optimism within him, igniting a fervent desire to grasp hold of a future beyond the relentless horrors of the present. Driven by this newfound hope, Qin Xiaobo rallied his fellow survivors, forging alliances and braving untold dangers in pursuit of their shared goal. Together, they navigated the treacherous landscape of the apocalypse, their spirits buoyed by the promise of evolution and the tantalizing prospect of a better tomorrow. Yet, as they approached the shores of Pearl Lake, their journey took an unexpected turn. The radiant glow emanating from the horizon heralded the arrival of chaos, a harbinger of untold horrors yet to unfold. Strange and grotesque creatures emerged from the darkness, their twisted forms a testament to the grotesque mutations wrought by the apocalypse. In the midst of this tumultuous scene, the presence of the monster baby loomed large, its sinister visage sending shivers down the spines of all who beheld it. Clutching tightly to its golden bag, it stood as a grim reminder of the perils that lurked in the shadows, waiting to ensnare the unwary in their web of deceit and despair. As Qin Xiaobo and his companions stood poised on the precipice of uncertainty, they knew that their greatest challenge lay ahead. With courage in their hearts and hope in their eyes, they braced themselves for the trials yet to come, knowing that their actions would shape the fate of humanity in this darkest of hours. Captain Yi lowered his binoculars, his expression grim and troubled, betraying the weight of the situation bearing down upon him. "Report," he commanded, his voice steady despite the tension in the air. His trusted advisor swiftly relayed the unsettling developments unfolding around them. Forces led by Li Shujun, Hu Duohai, and Chief Lu had all reached their designated positions as planned. However, Qin Xiaobo's forces had vanished without a trace, leaving a void of uncertainty at their 12 o'clock. Furthermore, unidentified groups, varying in size from small clusters to sizable contingents, were closing in on their position from multiple directions. To add to our woes, the advisor continued, his tone tinged with urgency, we are increasingly encircled by hordes of ravenous zombies. Captain Yi forced a tight smile, his resolve unyielding even in the face of imminent danger. We are soldiers in a city besieged by chaos. Being surrounded seems to be our perpetual state. His advisor, known as Hit, pressed on, his voice tinged with concern. Captain, the sheer number of zombies converging on our position is alarming. If we don't retreat within the next 10 minutes, we'll find ourselves in a dire predicament. Delaying by half an hour may render escape impossible. So, we have half an hour to unravel this puzzle? Captain Yi mused aloud, his mind already calculating the odds stacked against them. Hit nodded gravely, his lips pressed into a thin line. He tapped the window rhythmically, a silent manifestation of his determination to find a solution amidst the chaos. Removing his Bluetooth earpiece, Hit, utilizing his one-star evolved super ability, leaped atop a nearby vehicle, his voice resonating with urgency as he addressed his fellow soldiers. Brothers, we find ourselves ensnared in a death trap. Soldiers from the 1st and 3rd units turned to regard their captain, awaiting his guidance. Pointing towards the approaching threats, Hit's voice rang out with a mix of desperation and determination. Monsters converge upon us from every direction. If we do not retreat, death awaits us all. His words struck a chord with many, their resolve wavering in the face of impending doom. I understand your fears, Captain Yi interjected, his voice tinged with empathy. I, too, am haunted by uncertainty regarding the safety of my loved ones. But is fear a reason to abandon our duty? The soldiers listened, their eyes reflecting a myriad of emotions. I refuse to surrender to despair, Captain Yi declared, his voice rising with conviction. Yes, I worry for my family, but I have also witnessed the resilience of the human spirit amidst adversity. We may feel like pawns in a twisted game, but we possess the power to defy fate. His impassioned speech resonated with the soldiers, stirring a sense of camaraderie and purpose within their hearts. We are soldiers, Captain Yi proclaimed, his voice echoing with unwavering determination. We are warriors, born to face adversity head-on. Let us stand together, fight as one, and emerge victorious against the darkness that threatens to consume us. His words ignited a spark of hope amidst the encroaching despair, rallying the soldiers to stand firm in the face of overwhelming odds. With renewed determination, they surged forward, their resolve unbroken as they charged towards the looming threat of Pearl Lake, ready to confront whatever horrors awaited them in the heart of the chaos. As Captain Ye's rallying cry echoed through the desolate streets, a sense of unity and purpose filled the air, driving them forward into the unknown with unwavering resolve. Yi Zhongming gazed at the swirling black hole, his expression dazed yet familiar with the strange sight before him. A pungent odor wafted from the abyss, a scent so putrid it could turn the strongest stomachs. But for those seasoned by the trials of the apocalypse, this foul smell held a different significance. It was the unmistakable scent of a dungeon. In the wake of the apocalypse, along with the descent of gashapons from above, thousands of golden lights had showered the earth, leaving behind dungeons teeming with alien creatures. These subterranean labyrinths were home to all manner of monstrous beings, from ferocious beasts to eerie plant life, and harbored treasures beyond imagining. Venturing into these dungeons was a perilous endeavor, with death lurking around every corner. Yet, for those who emerged victorious, the rewards were unparalleled. Yi Zhongming himself had braved these dungeons multiple times, though he was far from being a main character or even a supporting role in the grand narrative. Nevertheless, each expedition had yielded valuable rewards, propelling him forward in his journey through the apocalypse. But the true beneficiaries of these dungeons were the elite few, the main characters of this grim tale, who reaped untold riches and power from their conquests. As Yi Zhongming pondered the depths of the abyss, a massive black hole materialized over Pearl Lake, summoned forth by the horn of the monster baby. From within, two menacing figures emerged, their twisted forms signaling danger to all who beheld them. These were the Red Gun Doors, fearsome creatures with razor-sharp teeth and a thirst for human flesh. With predatory instincts honed by evolution, they wasted no time in descending upon Qin Xiaobo and his men, eager to feast upon their prey. Yi Zhongming recognized them immediately, his grip tightening around Moon Edge as he braced for the inevitable confrontation. The appearance of these Level 2 monsters signaled the onset of hellish trials, a dire portent of the challenges yet to come. But the horrors did not end there. Soon, another monstrous entity emerged from the depths of the abyss, the Terror Goat, a towering behemoth with a thirst for blood and a penchant for carnage. Its arrival marked the escalation of the conflict, as it charged towards its unsuspecting victims with relentless fury. And yet, the true horror lay in the swarm of purple cloud ants that followed in its wake, a relentless horde of Level 1 monsters numbering in the hundreds. As the ground trembled beneath their onslaught, Yi Zhongming's gaze fell upon the approaching figure of the zombie ape, a towering colossus with bared fangs and a massive steel pillar in hand. With each passing moment, the situation grew more dire, the odds stacked against them like never before. But amidst the chaos and despair, one thing remained certain: survival demanded strength, resilience, and a will to endure against all odds. And as Yi Zhongming prepared to face the coming storm, he knew that only by standing united could they hope to overcome the horrors that lay ahead. Yi Zhongming's gaze fell upon the towering figure of the zombie ape, its immense size and menacing presence sending a chill down his spine. A Level 3 zombie, it was unprecedented, especially so early in the apocalypse. Yi Zhongming couldn't help but wonder at the speed of its evolution. Had the rules of this new world been rewritten overnight? Human evolution relied on potions and gashapons, but for zombies, it was a natural process driven by the accumulation of energy within their bodies. Yet, reaching Level 3 in just one day was beyond extraordinary. The journey from a normal zombie to a Level 1 required mere consumption of flesh and brains. But each subsequent level demanded exponentially more sustenance. To ascend to Level 3 in such a short span defied all conventional understanding. In Yi Zhongming's previous life, it took weeks for humans to reach 3-star status, yet this zombie ape achieved it in a single day. It was a terrifying testament to the shifting dynamics of this new world. As Yi Zhongming observed the zombie ape's rampage, he couldn't shake the feeling of dread that gripped him. This creature, with its formidable strength and thick, impenetrable skin, posed a threat unlike any other. Its sheer size alone made it a formidable opponent, towering over even the tallest of humans. And with its ability to control other zombies, it wielded a power that could sway the course of battle. The sight of the zombie ape mercilessly devouring its prey left a sickening feeling in Yi Zhongming's stomach. It was a reminder of the brutal reality they faced. In this world, survival came at a steep price. The horror of the scene shook even the most hardened survivors to their core. Many fled in terror, unable to stomach the gruesome spectacle unfolding before them. Li Shujun, once confident in his strength and leadership, now found himself humbled by the terrifying presence of the zombie ape. It was a sobering reminder that in this new world, humanity's grip on power was tenuous at best. For Captain Yi, however, fear was not an option. Despite the overwhelming odds, he remained resolute, his focus unwavering. He understood the gravity of the situation and the importance of decisive action. Ordering his men to defend their position at all costs, Captain Yi prepared to confront the zombie ape head-on. His faith in his team and their modern weaponry bolstered his confidence, even in the face of such a formidable foe. As the chaos unfolded around them, Yi Zhongming assessed the situation, formulating a plan of action. Despite the overwhelming odds, he remained determined to protect those under his care. Turning to his companions, he urged them to stay focused and alert. With their help, he hoped to navigate through the turmoil and emerge victorious. But as the battle raged on, and the true extent of the monster's power became apparent, Yi Zhongming couldn't shake the feeling of unease that lingered in the air. The road ahead would be fraught with danger, but he was determined to press on, no matter the cost. Mo Yi held onto an old rifle, her back pressed against the wall as she watched the mutated rats scurry around. "What's wrong, little Yi? You seem off since you got back," a middle-aged man, holding an automatic rifle, asked. Despite his calm demeanor, his grip on the weapon was tight, a testament to the tension in the air. Mo Yi coughed and shook her head. "It's nothing, just, these rats are so disgusting." The man chuckled. "I thought you were spooked by that giant monster. Why would Sister Mo be afraid? She took down 6 guys with daggers without breaking a sweat," a young man piped up, his face dotted with pimples. "Yeah, who's Captain Mo?" "She's the grappling champion of the province, top 5 in the open category," another man chimed in, a grin on his face. "Do you know what being in the top 5 means? It means only 4 guys in the whole province are stronger than her. The rest bow down to her." The banter helped ease the tension among the 5-person team. Mo's sharpshooting skills are top-notch too, the only other woman in the group added, admiration evident in her voice. The woman, Lei Lei, was a seasoned veteran despite her youthful appearance. Her record of missions and shooting prowess was legendary among the police force. The camaraderie among the team members was evident as they exchanged teasing remarks and shared laughs, even in the face of danger. This 5-person team was a makeshift group, hastily assembled in the chaos of the apocalypse. Mo Yi, their leader, had lost most of her original team members in the early days of the outbreak. Left with only a handful of survivors, she relied on her mentor, Qinglong, and her former schoolmate, Xia Lei, to navigate the dangers of their new reality. Qinglong, once Mo Yi's teacher, had sustained injuries early on and transitioned to an administrative role. Xia Lei, a fellow survivor, had also found herself trapped within the confines of the headquarters. As the group bantered and joked, Mo Yi's thoughts drifted to her promise to a certain resilient individual she had encountered. Despite the chaos and uncertainty of their situation, she couldn't shake the feeling that he was nearby, watching over her. Before she could dwell further on her thoughts, the mutated rats they were tasked with exterminating surged forward, threatening to breach their defenses. "Fire! Don't let them break through," came the order from the corridor, and the team sprang into action. Gunshots echoed through the building as they unleashed a barrage of bullets, decimating the approaching horde of rats. Their coordinated efforts kept the creatures at bay, showcasing their formidable skills as law enforcement officers. But their success drew the attention of a much larger threat, the zombie ape. As the monstrous creature lumbered towards their position, the team's expressions soured. Despite their best efforts, their bullets seemed to have little effect on the behemoth. The zombie ape's approach filled them with a sense of dread, knowing that if it reached them, their chances of survival would be slim. Faced with an adversary they couldn't easily defeat, the team braced themselves for the inevitable confrontation. The sound of gunfire echoing from the building ahead caused Yi Zhongming to pause briefly before picking up his pace. In the chaos of battle, being the first to shoot might bring victory, but it didn't guarantee survival till the end. Listening to the gunshots, Yi Zhongming estimated there were at least 200 people. However, in this dangerous world, he knew that only a small fraction of them might make it out alive. This could be his chance to take down the terror goat. With the zombie ape drawn away by the gunfire, Yi Zhongming hastened his steps. Yi, I spotted the monster baby riding a purple cloud ant. It's kind of just wandering by the lake, Teacher Park, having recovered from her earlier shock, reported through binoculars. Yi Zhongming furrowed his brows. Had the summoning ended? Would the terrifying monster he encountered in his past life not appear? Has the black hole disappeared? He asked. No, it's still there, Park replied. Perplexed by the situation, Yi Zhongming decided not to dwell on it. Instead, he focused on the rumbling approach of the terror goat. Reaching a corner, he peered around and saw three factions engaged in battle: survivors, zombies, and the terror goat. It was evident that the terror goat would soon overpower both survivors and zombies. If not for the presence of a one-star evolved survivor among them, they would have likely succumbed already. The survivors who ventured here must have some skills. Unlike ordinary people who only think about survival, they aimed to become stronger. Observing the scene, Yi Zhongming noticed movement behind him. 7 zombies lunged at him, but as an evolved individual with combat experience, dispatching them was child's play. As he was about to collect the demon crystals, he heard hurried footsteps approaching, accompanied by the advancing terror goat. Meanwhile, Li Nan, driven by his desire for wealth and power, had led a group in search of treasures. However, their encounter with the terror goat quickly turned into a nightmare. Overwhelmed by the creature's might, Li Nan's confidence shattered as he witnessed his comrades fall one by one. In a desperate attempt to survive, he stumbled upon Yi Zhongming, hoping for salvation from the looming threat. However, Yi Zhongming's attention was fixed on the approaching terror goat, its blood-stained mouth betraying its recent feast on human flesh. Yi, you should run. That thing, it's too big, Park urged, fearing for Yi Zhongming's safety. But Yi Zhongming knew better. He recognized the value of the terror goat's goat treasure and was determined to claim it. Taking a deep breath to steady himself, Yi Zhongming prepared to face the monstrous creature, knowing that retreat was not an option. With lightning speed, he charged towards the terror goat, his resolve unwavering despite the odds stacked against him. The terror goat, sensing the human's approach, snorted in derision, ready to crush its puny adversary. Yi Zhongming remained completely focused. Then, at a crucial moment, he executed a peculiar maneuver, halting abruptly and propelling himself into the air. With precision timing, he pressed his left hand against the terror goat's head and landed squarely on its broad back. Though it appeared simple, this move demanded impeccable timing, foresight, and physical prowess. A miscalculation could prove disastrous. Mistiming the jump could result in a fatal impact, while mishandling the pressure could shatter his arm. This was a technique honed over 10 years, a testament to Yi Zhongming's dedication and skill. The terror goat, displeased by the intrusion, began to buck wildly in an attempt to dislodge its unwanted passenger and devour him. Yi Zhongming felt the immense force pushing against him and reacted swiftly. Brandishing Moon Edge, he plunged the blade into the creature's thick hide. A deafening roar erupted from the terror goat as it recoiled in agony, its head raised in a futile attempt to alleviate the pain. Neither Li Nan nor his companions had expected this turn of events. Initially dismissing Yi Zhongming as foolhardy for confronting the terror goat alone, they now watched in disbelief as he managed to wound the seemingly invincible creature. Could he actually defeat it? Their pace slowed as they contemplated the possibility. Even Li Nan, driven by greed for the legendary treasures, found himself momentarily awestruck by the unfolding spectacle. Meanwhile, Teacher Park, having regained her composure, relayed the situation to Liang Chuyin with tearful urgency. However, Liang Chuyin, located at a distance, faced numerous obstacles in reaching them quickly. Growing increasingly frustrated, the terror goat intensified its efforts to dislodge Yi Zhongming. Spotting a nearby building, it rammed into it, causing debris to cascade onto both Yi Zhongming and itself. Though the damage inflicted upon the terror goat was minimal, for Yi Zhongming, it posed a significant threat. His vision obscured, he endured cuts from glass and stone, his one-star evolved physique offering limited protection. Seizing upon this distraction, the terror goat charged into a nearby mall, inflicting further wounds upon Yi Zhongming. Realizing the precariousness of his situation, Yi Zhongming understood that he couldn't continue the battle without risking his life or succumbing to dizziness. With gritted teeth, he withdrew Moon Edge from the terror goat's body, crimson blood splattering across his face, and lost his grip, tumbling from its back. Sensing Yi Zhongming's absence, the terror goat, its gaze sweeping over 270 degrees, anticipated his fall and prepared to deliver a fatal blow. But before it could divert its attention, Yi Zhongming, mid-fall, thrust Moon Edge into the creature's ribs. Despite lacking leverage, he employed his left arm to drive the blade deeper, causing the terror goat to buckle under the onslaught of pain. As he descended, Yi Zhongming bore the full force of his impact with the ground. His right arm, strained from the fall, throbbed with agony, yet he maintained his grip on the blade through sheer determination. Witnessing the terror goat's collapse, Yi Zhongming, using his left hand for support, extricated Moon Edge from the creature's body, causing another surge of blood to pool beneath him. Though the terror goat attempted to rise, its injuries proved too severe, and it remained kneeling. Seizing the opportunity, Yi Zhongming extended his left hand, driving Moon Edge into the creature's eye. Fetid green liquid spurted forth, staining the ground. Dodging the creature's desperate charge, Yi Zhongming repeated the action, blinding it in both eyes. With its sight impaired and its body ravaged by successive strikes, the terror goat summoned its final reserves of strength, charging recklessly toward Yi Zhongming. But he was prepared. Using his arm shield to deflect the blow, he was sent hurtling backward, crashing into a clothing rack. As he lay there, blood trickling from his lips, Yi Zhongming smiled, knowing that despite his injuries, victory was his. Yi Zhongming found himself in a quandary as he assessed the aftermath of his confrontation with the formidable terror goat. Despite his victory, he couldn't shake the feeling of uncertainty gnawing at him. Not knowing the creature's vulnerabilities due to his limited control over his evolutionary enhancements left him feeling vulnerable, even in the wake of his triumph. As he gingerly rose to his feet, his gaze flickered over to the struggling form of the terror goat. Its massive frame writhed in pain, a testament to the effectiveness of Yi Zhongming's assault. Yet, amidst the creature's agony, Yi Zhongming couldn't help but wonder if there were more efficient methods he could have employed to dispatch the beast swiftly and decisively. Meanwhile, a group of survivors had been drawn to the scene by the cacophony of battle. Initially skeptical of Yi Zhongming's chances against the monstrous adversary, they now stood in awe of his prowess. However, their admiration was tinged with a palpable sense of envy as they contemplated the spoils of victory lying at Yi Zhongming's feet. Eager to claim a share of the bounty for themselves, the survivors approached cautiously, their eyes gleaming with anticipation. Yet, as they neared Yi Zhongming, their demeanor shifted subtly, betraying their underlying intentions. While some attempted to mask their greed with feigned camaraderie, others eyed Yi Zhongming with thinly veiled hostility, their covetous desires laid bare for all to see. Sensing the tension mounting in the air, Yi Zhongming remained vigilant, his instincts on high alert. Though outwardly composed, inwardly, he grappled with a myriad of conflicting emotions. On one hand, he harbored a deep-seated desire to assert his dominance and protect what was rightfully his. On the other hand, he recognized the futility of engaging in needless conflict, especially when the stakes were so high. Despite his misgivings, Yi Zhongming couldn't ignore the palpable sense of entitlement emanating from the group of survivors. Their demands for recognition and recompense grew increasingly insistent, testing Yi Zhongming's patience and resolve. However, rather than capitulating to their demands, Yi Zhongming stood his ground, his unwavering determination serving as a bulwark against their mounting aggression. Though outnumbered and outmatched, he refused to yield, his unwavering resolve a testament to his indomitable spirit. Yet, even as tensions reached a boiling point, Yi Zhongming remained steadfast, refusing to be swayed by the allure of petty disputes and baseless accusations. In the end, it would be his unyielding determination and unshakable principles that would see him through the tumultuous events that lay ahead. The sudden turn of events left everyone in the room stunned, their disbelief palpable as they witnessed the seemingly impossible: the zombie ape, a hulking behemoth of undead strength, faltering under the impact of a single, well-aimed shot. As the purple blood oozed from the creature's wounded eyes, a sense of hope flickered to life in the hearts of those gathered. Could this be the turning point they had been desperately seeking? Could they actually stand a chance against such an overwhelming adversary? Amidst the chaos and uncertainty, one figure stood out from the rest. With a calm demeanor and steady hand, a lone gunman emerged from the shadows, his identity shrouded in mystery yet his actions speaking volumes. The sniper, once thought to be incapacitated by the zombie ape's brutal assault, had somehow found the strength to retaliate, his resolve unbroken despite his grievous injuries. With a steely gaze and unwavering determination, he took aim once more, ready to unleash another volley of deadly precision. For those watching, it was a sight to behold, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. With each shot fired, hope soared higher, dispelling the suffocating despair that had threatened to engulf them all. Yet, even as the sniper's bullets found their mark, the zombie ape refused to yield, its primal fury undiminished by its injuries. With a roar that shook the very foundations of the building, it charged forward, its sheer brute strength tearing through obstacles with ease. Realizing that time was running out, the survivors sprang into action, rallying behind their wounded comrade as they prepared to make their final stand. With makeshift weapons in hand and courage in their hearts, they braced themselves for the inevitable clash, ready to confront their fears head-on. In the midst of the chaos, Emma Yi stepped forward, her gaze unwavering as she faced down the approaching horde. Despite her injuries, she remained steadfast, her determination unyielding in the face of impending danger. With a silent nod, the others followed suit, their ranks forming a formidable line of defense against the encroaching threat. Together, they stood united, ready to defy fate itself in their quest for survival. As the zombie ape drew ever closer, its monstrous form looming large in the dim light, a sense of camaraderie swept through the room, binding the survivors together in a shared bond of solidarity and resolve. For in that moment, they were more than just individuals fighting for their lives, they were a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity, ready to face whatever challenges the apocalypse might bring. And with each passing moment, their determination only grew stronger, fueling their resolve to overcome even the greatest of odds. As Captain Yi barked his orders, the soldiers under his command sprang into action, their weapons poised to strike down the encroaching purple cloud ants. With a coordinated effort, gunfire erupted, filling the air with the sharp cracks of bullets and the pained shrieks of the mutated creatures. But amidst the chaos of battle, a sudden explosion rocked the scene, sending shockwaves rippling through the air. At first, no one could discern the source of the blast, their senses overwhelmed by the cacophony of combat. Then, as the smoke began to clear, a horrifying realization dawned upon them. The arm of one of the soldiers had exploded, the force of the blast tearing through flesh and bone with devastating power. Panic swept through the ranks as soldiers scrambled to make sense of the inexplicable phenomenon. Was it an enemy attack? A malfunctioning weapon? Or something even more sinister lurking in the shadows? Captain Ye's voice boomed above the din, his orders drowned out by the collective screams of his men. In the midst of the confusion, he fought to maintain control, his authority challenged by the sheer terror gripping his troops. But even as he struggled to restore order, a sense of dread gnawed at the back of his mind. This was no ordinary battle. They were facing an enemy unlike any they had encountered before, one whose power defied explanation. As the soldiers searched frantically for the source of the explosion, their eyes fell upon a lone figure standing amidst the chaos. It was Yi Zhongming, his expression unreadable as he surveyed the scene with a mixture of concern and determination. For a moment, time seemed to stand still as the two adversaries locked eyes, their silent confrontation a testament to the intensity of the conflict unfolding around them. Then, without warning, Yi Zhongming sprang into action, his movements swift and decisive. With a flick of his wrist, he unleashed a barrage of attacks, his blade slicing through the air with deadly precision. Caught off guard by his sudden assault, Captain Yi and his men could only watch in awe as their mysterious foe single-handedly turned the tide of battle. With each strike, he drew closer to their position, his presence a looming threat that sent shivers down their spines. Desperate to regain the upper hand, Captain Yi rallied his troops, urging them to stand firm against the relentless onslaught. But even as they fought with all their might, they could not shake the feeling that they were hopelessly outmatched. As the battle raged on, the line between friend and foe blurred, each side struggling to survive in a world consumed by chaos and uncertainty. And amidst the chaos, Yi Zhongming stood as a beacon of defiance, his unwavering resolve a symbol of hope in the face of overwhelming darkness. Hu Duohai approached the thin, beautiful woman cautiously, his interest piqued but carefully hidden. Compared to those fortunate enough to evolve early on, Hu Duohai's journey through the apocalypse had been fraught with challenges. Before the world fell apart, he had fought tooth and nail against corporate interests to protect his humble abode, even caring for his elderly parents and paralyzed relatives within its walls. But when the apocalypse descended, his loved ones succumbed to the mutation wave, transforming into zombies. Terrified but trapped between the hordes outside, Hu Duohai was forced to make a gruesome choice for survival. He ended the lives of his own kin. The experience left him shaken but alive, and he resolved to bury the bodies in a nearby construction site. Amidst the carnage, he stumbled upon a mysterious gashapon, its allure impossible to resist. Trading in the crystals harvested from his deceased relatives, he obtained a card of unknown significance. This chance encounter led him to Captain Yi, who exchanged the card for vital supplies and entrusted Hu Duohai with the management of a group of survivors. Though initially grateful for the opportunity to lead, Hu Duohai soon realized the true cost of Captain Ye's favor. He and his men were mere pawns in a larger game. Nevertheless, he complied with the orders, recognizing the futility of resistance in the face of overwhelming force. Yet, the arrival of the beautiful woman presented a glimmer of hope for Hu Duohai. Her strength and affiliation with a formidable team hinted at a path to empowerment, one he desperately sought. However, he remained cautious, preferring subtlety over confrontation in his pursuit of knowledge. Despite his best efforts to coax information from her, the woman's firm resolve frustrated Hu Duohai's attempts at manipulation. Her unexpected confession of vulnerability caught him off guard, revealing a depth of emotion he had not anticipated. However, when she threatened violence in defense of her newfound ally, Hu Duohai's fear gave way to admiration. Here was a survivor who refused to bow to the whims of fate, who fought tooth and nail for her right to exist in a world gone mad. As the battle raged on, Hu Duohai watched from the sidelines, his mind buzzing with uncertainty. Though victory seemed within reach for the soldiers, he couldn't shake the feeling of impending doom. And when the purple cloud ants retaliated with a noxious spray of green liquid, his worst fears were realized. The true horrors of the apocalypse had only just begun. Caught between the chaos of the present and the ghosts of his past, Hu Duohai wrestled with his own sense of agency. Each decision he made felt weighted with the burden of survival, each step forward fraught with uncertainty. Yet, in the midst of the madness, he clung to a glimmer of hope, a hope that, perhaps, amidst the ruins of the old world, he might yet find a place of belonging. Thus, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the shadows of the cityscape lengthened, Hu Duohai found himself at a crossroads, torn between the allure of power and the call of conscience. And in that moment of reckoning, he knew that whatever path he chose, the consequences would be dire. But still, he pressed onward, his resolve hardened by the trials of the apocalypse, his spirit tempered by the fires of adversity. For in a world consumed by chaos, the only certainty was the relentless march of time, and the ever-present specter of death. As the green liquid cascaded from the sky like raindrops, it brought tragedy to the soldiers stationed at the front. Their uniforms offered no protection against the corrosive substance, which ate away at their flesh upon contact, leaving behind gaping holes and billowing black smoke. Some soldiers, unable to withstand the agony, succumbed to their injuries almost instantly, reduced to nothing more than piles of bones within moments. Yi Zhongming understood why these creatures were known as war ants. With their disciplined teamwork and formidable battle techniques, even their low level posed a significant threat. In a previous life, he had witnessed their devastating power firsthand as they decimated an entire dungeon, overwhelming even the mightiest of foes. And now, faced with their onslaught once again, he knew that victory would not come easily. Each type of ant possessed unique abilities, making them a formidable force on the battlefield. The mage ants, stationed at the back, unleashed potent acid attacks, while the blade ants charged forward with razor-sharp blades and impenetrable shells. Meanwhile, the needle ants lurked in the shadows, firing their deadly projectiles with deadly accuracy. The sudden assault threw the soldiers into disarray, disrupting their carefully laid plans and sowing chaos among their ranks. Accustomed to peacekeeping duties rather than full-scale warfare, they struggled to maintain their composure in the face of such relentless aggression. Yet, amidst the chaos, Captain Yi issued orders to deploy the W-85 heavy machine guns, unleashing a barrage of firepower upon the advancing ants. The devastating onslaught tore through their ranks, reducing them to little more than piles of bones. But victory was short-lived as a new wave of attackers emerged, striking at the vulnerable soldiers with deadly precision. Caught off guard and ill-prepared, the soldiers suffered heavy casualties, their morale plummeting as the battle raged on. As Yi Zhongming watched from the sidelines, torn between his desire to intervene and his respect for the soldiers' resilience, he knew that the outcome of the battle hung in the balance. With each passing moment, the tide of war shifted, leaving him to wonder what role he would play in the unfolding drama. As he surveyed the battlefield, his gaze fell upon a figure standing atop a vehicle, a figure he recognized as Captain Yi. There was a steely determination in the captain's eyes, a resolve to see the battle through to its conclusion, no matter the cost. Undeterred by the captain's presence, Yi Zhongming pressed onward, his path leading him ever closer to Pearl Lake. Yet, as he drew near, he was met with a chilling sight, a giant figure emerging from the depths of the lake, casting a long shadow over the battlefield. With each step, the figure drew closer, its imposing presence sending a shiver down Yi Zhongming's spine. As he prepared to face this new threat, he knew that the true battle had only just begun. "Captain Mo, what's that gun? How did you hurt that monster?" Chen Long exclaimed, staring in disbelief at the wounded zombie ape. The others also looked at Mo Yi in awe, then glanced at her old rifle. Mo Yi had already surprised them all with her sudden evolution and immunity to the virus. Now, her remarkable marksmanship with the rifle added to the mystery surrounding her. Chen Zhe and Xia Lei, having noticed Mo Yi's changes in just one day, pondered over the significance of her transformation. Chen Zhe, with his wealth of experience, began to formulate his theories. "You mentioned leaving because of this?" Chen Zhe inquired, recalling Mo Yi's earlier announcement of her departure. Many were puzzled by her decision, considering the safety and familiarity of their group amidst the chaos of the apocalypse. Upon hearing Mo Yi's explanation, Chen Zhe and Xia Lei began to understand. Mo Yi had discovered a unique path, one that granted her immunity to the virus and rapid evolution. Returning to headquarters, Mo Yi felt a sense of gratitude towards Yi Zhongming. She realized the true value of the reward she had received and the extent of Yi Zhongming's generosity. However, she also felt burdened by the weight of her newfound abilities. As Mo Yi focused on her target, her thoughts turned to the enigmatic nature of the world they now lived in. With a resolve to explain everything to her comrades when the time was right, she continued to fire at the zombie ape. With each shot, Mo Yi's enhanced rifle proved its effectiveness, earning her the respect of her peers. However, when her actions were questioned by the chief's secretary, Mo Yi's patience wore thin. Faced with opposition, Mo Yi asserted her authority, refusing to back down. Her defiance shocked those around her, leading to a tense standoff. As the confrontation escalated, Mo Yi's comrades found themselves torn between loyalty to their team and sympathy for Mo Yi's plight. The revelation of Captain Yi's ulterior motives only added to their confusion. Despite the discord within the group, Mo Yi remained focused on her mission, determined to hold off the zombie ape at any cost. With her allies by her side, she continued to fight, her resolve unwavering in the face of adversity. As the black hole loomed closer, the scent of the dungeon emanating from it grew increasingly potent. However, the arrival of the giant figure captured everyone's attention, overshadowing the dungeon's foul odor. Even Yi Zhongming couldn't help but be affected by the overwhelming pressure exuded by the creature before him. It was the chain prisoner. Standing nearly 50 meters tall, its dark red skin made even the tallest humans seem insignificant in comparison. As its massive limbs made contact with the ground of Pearl Lake, the earth trembled beneath its weight. Its peculiar gait, with one front foot and two back feet, added to its eerie presence. But what truly set the chain prisoner apart were its 4 arms, each grown at its shoulders and ribs. These arms emitted a menacing aura, accompanied by a whistling sound with each movement. Atop its head, a green horn adorned with a glowing ball emitted a faint light, adding to the creature's intimidating demeanor. Wrapped around its body were countless rounds of black chains, their origins and purpose shrouded in mystery. These chains clanged with each movement, amplifying the creature's imposing presence. Yi Zhongming recognized the chain prisoner from his past life, remembering it as one of the most formidable monsters to emerge from the dungeon. With its rapid evolution, it had become a force to be reckoned with, capable of wreaking havoc on survivor bases and decimating entire populations. But what puzzled humans the most was the chain prisoner's method of evolution. Unlike other monsters, which evolved through killing and storing energy, the chain prisoner seemed to evolve through unlocking, its power sealed away until certain conditions were met. As the creature emerged from the black hole, laughter emanated from its grotesque form, sending shivers down the spines of those nearby. To Yi Zhongming's relief, the chained prisoner retrieved a 10-meter-long tree from the black hole, a promising sign amidst the looming threat. In his past life, he knew of the valuable resources the creature possessed, including its flesh, horn, eyes, chains, and the blood tree stem. Despite the danger posed by the chained prisoner, Yi Zhongming's desire for these treasures outweighed his fear, driving him to pursue the creature in hopes of securing valuable assets for himself and his allies. The arrival of the chained prisoner stunned everyone into silence. Whether they were monsters or humans, they gazed upon the towering figure with a mixture of awe and fear, as if they were facing a colossal mountain that shook the very depths of their souls. Yi Zhongming clenched his teeth, reluctantly abandoning his impractical thoughts. The chained prisoner was a veritable treasure trove, with each of its body parts holding immense value. Obtaining even a single one could secure him resources for a long time. However, the high rewards came with equally high risks. Engaging in combat with a level 4 monster at his current 1-star evolved stage was unwise. With a resigned sigh, Yi Zhongming shifted his focus to the nearby purple cloud ants. Having encountered the chained prisoner in his past life, he was among the first to shake off the pressure it exuded, granting him a valuable opportunity. Seizing the moment, he lunged into action, swiftly dispatching the ants with his moon-edge blade. Even the formidable blade ants, known for their stout defense, proved no match for his skillful strikes. With their protectors eliminated, the weaker mage ants and needle ants fell prey to Yi Zhongming's onslaught, their feeble bodies offering little resistance. Digging out demon crystals and disabling the blade ants' sharp appendages, Yi Zhongming made his way towards the source of the horn sound, where the monster baby awaited. Meanwhile, the chained prisoner advanced steadily, its colossal form traversing the landscape with ease. Yi Zhongming felt the ground tremble beneath him as the monstrous entity passed by, its overwhelming presence casting a shadow over him. Despite the imminent threat, Yi Zhongming's attention remained fixed on his primary objective, the monster baby. Entering the shop where the horn had sounded, he was greeted by a scene of chaos. Bodies littered the floor, evidence of a fierce battle that had taken place. Noticing a peculiar absence of communication with his companions, Yi Zhongming's unease grew. However, he pushed aside his apprehension, focusing on the task at hand. As he ventured further into the shop, his right hand, still on the path to recovery, tingled with discomfort. Suddenly, a loud noise emanated from the vicinity, followed by a series of strange sounds, a clear indication that the monster baby was nearby. Rounding a corner, Yi Zhongming encountered a group of armed individuals, their hostile demeanor evident. Despite their menacing presence, he wasted no time in dispatching them and securing their weapons. Armed with military-grade firearms, Yi Zhongming made his way towards the back alley, where the chained prisoner's rampage continued unchecked. Amidst the chaos, he spotted the monster baby, clutching a golden bag atop a purple cloud ant. As gunfire erupted, Yi Zhongming realized the true nature of the monster baby's cargo, an evolution potion. Determined to claim the prize for himself, he surged forward, dodging enemy fire with practiced ease. Though initially met with resistance, Yi Zhongming's superior skills allowed him to overcome his adversaries and press onward in pursuit of the monster baby. Behind him, explosions echoed through the streets as fellow survivors engaged the chained prisoner in a desperate battle. Aware that time was of the essence, Yi Zhongming quickened his pace, closing in on his elusive quarry. With the treasure within reach, he steeled himself for the final confrontation, ready to seize his prize before anyone else could lay claim to it. Park Seo-young's sudden appearance didn't exactly thrill Mo-yi. Instead, it signaled something significant: Yi Zhongming must be nearby. With that realization, Mo-yi wasted no time and leaped into action, gunning down zombies with precision and determination. Cheng Zhe, her mentor, was taken aback by her impulsive move. He tried to restrain her, but Mo-yi was beyond reason. Her loyalty to Yi Zhongming drove her forward, leaving her companions astonished. Qinglong and Little Tiger, who regarded Mo-yi as their elder sister, followed suit without hesitation, their respect for her overriding any sense of caution. Meanwhile, a group of armed individuals burst into the scene, led by a previously timid secretary who now displayed a brazen arrogance. Cheng Zhe and Xia Lei were outraged by his audacity, especially considering the urgent need for cooperation in the face of the ongoing crisis. Cheng Zhe, determined to retrieve Mo-yi, immediately set off in pursuit, his resolve unwavering. Xia Lei, torn between loyalty to her husband and duty to her team, ultimately chose to stay behind. As the chaos unfolded, Park Seo-young found herself facing an unexpected foe, Qian Da, a former colleague who had betrayed her. Despite her initial advantage, Park Seo-young soon found herself overpowered by Qian Da's superior skills and weaponry. Desperate to escape, Park Seo-young fled towards the heart of the conflict, where Mo-yi awaited her arrival. Their reunion was brief but heartfelt, overshadowed by the looming presence of the chain prisoner, a formidable threat that demanded their immediate attention. With Yi Zhongming's safety uncertain, Park Seo-young urged Mo-yi to prioritize their friend Liang Chuyan's rescue. Though conflicted, Mo-yi recognized the urgency of the situation and agreed to aid in the rescue mission. Joined by Qinglong and Little Tiger, the group set out to save Liang Chuyan, their determination unwavering despite the dangers that lay ahead. Meanwhile, Liang Chuyan found herself embroiled in a life-or-death struggle against Hu Duohai and his cronies. Despite her injuries, she remained defiant, her will unbroken as she faced down her adversaries. However, help arrived in the nick of time, as reinforcements led by Mo-yi intervened, turning the tide of the battle in Liang Chuyan's favor. As the dust settled, it became clear that the conflict was far from over. With new allies by their side, Mo-yi and her companions braced themselves for the challenges that lay ahead, united in their resolve to survive against all odds. Yi Zhongming had been hot on the trail of the elusive monster baby for what felt like hours, his determination matched only by his curiosity about the strange creature. With each step, his mind raced with questions. What was the monster baby's true nature? How did it come to possess such powerful companions like the general ant? And most importantly, what secrets lay hidden within its mysterious golden bag? Finally, his relentless pursuit led him to the bustling square near the lake, where he caught sight of the monster baby in the midst of a seemingly mundane activity, enjoying a meal. Despite the chaos that surrounded them, the monster baby appeared completely unfazed, its attention solely focused on its food. Yi Zhongming couldn't help but marvel at the creature's nonchalant demeanor. Was it oblivious to the dangers lurking around every corner, or did it possess an inner strength that allowed it to remain calm in the face of adversity? As he observed the monster baby, a mixture of awe and wariness filled his heart. Suddenly, the tranquil scene was shattered by the monster baby's commanding roar, prompting its loyal companion, the purple cloud ant general, to spring into action. Yi Zhongming's senses snapped to attention as he prepared to face off against the formidable creature. Ducking and weaving with practiced precision, Yi Zhongming managed to evade the general ant's bone needle attacks, all while strategizing his next move. With a calculated strike, he incapacitated the creature, using his enhanced strength to overpower it. But even in defeat, the general ant remained resilient, its determination evident despite its injuries. Yi Zhongming couldn't help but admire the creature's tenacity, even as he prepared to deliver the final blow. With the general ant dispatched, Yi Zhongming turned his attention back to the monster baby, his curiosity piqued by its unexpected behavior. As the creature offered him a scroll containing a valuable skill, the basic summoning technique, Yi Zhongming's mind raced with possibilities. What other secrets did the monster baby hold? And how could he unlock its full potential? As the monster baby continued to offer various items, including a job advancement scroll and a 1-star evolution potion, Yi Zhongming's excitement grew. Each new discovery brought him one step closer to unraveling the mysteries surrounding the enigmatic creature. But when the monster baby tossed a mysterious object that exploded upon impact, Yi Zhongming's instincts kicked in, allowing him to narrowly escape harm. Emerging from the debris, he found himself face to face with a new challenge, a figure cloaked in green, its intentions unknown. With his heart pounding and his mind racing, Yi Zhongming prepared to confront this unexpected adversary, knowing that the path ahead would be fraught with danger and uncertainty. But armed with his newfound skills and unwavering determination, he was ready to face whatever challenges lay in his path. Yi Zhongming found himself facing a foe unlike any he had encountered before, a monstrous creation summoned forth by the enigmatic monster baby. As he leaped to the ground and rolled away from the creature's menacing advances, he couldn't help but marvel at its otherworldly nature. Unlike typical monsters that possessed crystal cores, this creature seemed to materialize out of thin air, its origins shrouded in mystery. With Moon Edge held firmly in hand, Yi Zhongming maintained a defensive stance, wary of the monster baby's unpredictable abilities. Despite lacking direct combat skills, the creature possessed an arsenal of defensive maneuvers and a remarkable capacity for self-healing, making it a formidable adversary in its own right. As Yi Zhongming cautiously assessed the situation, he couldn't help but notice a subtle improvement in his injured arm, thanks to the residual effects of the basic summoning technique he had recently acquired. Though his arm was far from fully healed, the newfound strength bolstered his resolve as he prepared for the impending showdown. Meanwhile, the monster baby reveled in its newfound power, taunting Yi Zhongming with careless abandon. Ignoring the creature's provocations, Yi Zhongming focused on evading its attacks and formulating a strategy to turn the tide in his favor. As the green monster summoned by the monster baby closed in on him, Yi Zhongming hesitated, unsure of how to effectively counter its corrosive abilities without risking damage to Moon Edge. Sensing an opportunity, the monster launched a fierce assault, its sulfuric scent filling the air as Yi Zhongming scrambled to avoid its lethal blows. Amidst the chaos, Yi Zhongming seized a momentary respite to replenish his mental energy, crushing demon crystals to fuel his strength for the battle ahead. With each passing moment, the urgency of the situation grew, as gunshots echoed in the distance, signaling the approaching end of daylight. Determined to seize control of the situation, Yi Zhongming summoned a water elemental from the nearby fountain, using it to engage the green monster in a desperate struggle for supremacy. Though the elemental's strength waned with each passing second, it provided a much-needed distraction, allowing Yi Zhongming to focus his attention on the monster baby. As the monster baby attempted to flee, pursued by a group of vengeful humans from the candy shop, Yi Zhongming knew that he couldn't afford to let it escape. With a steely resolve, he emerged from cover, unleashing a barrage of gunfire to neutralize the threat posed by the pursuing enemies. In a daring display of courage, Yi Zhongming charged toward the monster baby, determined to seize the golden bag that held the key to unlocking its secrets. With the fate of the apocalypse hanging in the balance, he knew that failure was not an option. What Yi Zhongming couldn't deny was the rush of emotions he felt the moment he grasped the monster baby. It was as if he had stumbled upon a treasure trove of unparalleled value. Indeed, the monster baby was akin to a rare bug in the apocalypse, a seemingly insignificant creature that wielded immense power, known only to those who had traversed the depths of this chaotic world. In his previous life, Yi Zhongming had been part of countless operations aimed at eliminating the monster baby. Each encounter invariably devolved into a brutal conflict, pitting organizations, teams, zombies, and monsters against one another in a bloody struggle for dominance. These battles were nothing short of carnage, with casualties often surpassing 60%, a testament to the monster baby's ability to sow discord and instigate wars among those who sought to possess it. However, as Yi Zhongming seized hold of the monster baby, a fleeting sense of triumph washed over him. For a brief moment, he entertained the notion that he might emerge victorious in this deadly game of wits and power. Yet, his elation was short-lived, eclipsed by a sudden surge of danger that sent shivers down his spine. Reacting swiftly, Yi Zhongming narrowly avoided a potentially lethal strike, his senses heightened as he discerned a trio of formidable adversaries closing in on him. Led by a burly, bear-like figure exuding an air of authority, the group was a formidable force to be reckoned with. Behind the leader stood a man wielding a spear with lethal precision, while a young woman in a mechanic's uniform emanated an aura of potent energy, her right hand crackling with power. Though outnumbered and outmatched, Yi Zhongming refused to yield, his determination unshaken as he faced down his adversaries. However, the odds were stacked against him, his injured arm and diminished strength hampering his ability to mount an effective defense. With no choice but to retreat, he watched helplessly as the trio closed in, their intentions clear: to seize the golden bag and eliminate anyone who stood in their way. Yet, even in the face of imminent danger, Yi Zhongming remained undaunted. With a defiant laugh, he made a daring move, kicking the monster baby toward his pursuers before making his escape. The unexpected maneuver caught his foes off guard, buying him precious time to regroup and formulate a plan. Meanwhile, as the monster baby hurtled toward the soldiers led by Wang Ding, chaos erupted in the square. Li Shujun, recognizing the true value of the creature, hastily redirected his men's attention, urging them to seize the opportunity before it slipped away. For Yi Zhongming, the stakes had never been higher. With enemies closing in from all sides and the true treasure within reach, he knew that every decision could mean the difference between victory and defeat. As he braced himself for the inevitable confrontation, he resolved to fight with all his strength, unwilling to surrender to fate without a fight. The muscular man of the trio watched with disdain as a figure in military uniform charged towards them, a smirk playing across his lips. With a cold scoff, he spread his arms wide, his body expanding and contorting until he resembled a massive tank, brimming with raw power. Yi Zhongming's eyes widened in recognition. Strongman. Indeed, the appearance of the strongman alongside the spear-wielding adversary indicated that this trio had encountered more than one level 1 Gashapon. Moreover, it seemed they had stumbled upon a three-colored one, a rare and potent find in the post-apocalyptic world. Memories of a rumored three-person team in his past life flickered through Yi Zhongming's mind, their mysterious disappearance leaving lingering questions. However, such speculations were irrelevant now. The immediate threat posed by these formidable adversaries demanded his full attention. As the confrontation unfolded, Yi Zhongming found himself grappling with unanswered questions. How had these individuals attained such power in a mere 30 hours? Were there truly enough level 2 beings for them to defeat and evolve? Despite his years of experience and knowledge, he found himself at a loss, unable to reconcile the inexplicable rise of these newfound adversaries. In the midst of the chaos, the clash between the strongman and the level 2 soldier reverberated with earth-shaking force. Though the strongman possessed remarkable strength and resilience, his opponent's higher evolutionary level posed a significant challenge. Nevertheless, with a skillful maneuver known as the bear hug, the strongman managed to gain the upper hand momentarily, though not without sustaining considerable mental and physical strain. Meanwhile, Wang Ding, the level 2 soldier, found himself locked in a deadly dance with the spearman. Despite his superior evolutionary status, Wang Ding's injuries and the spearman's lethal precision threatened to tip the scales against him. Yet, with quick thinking and a display of exceptional strength, Wang Ding seized the opportunity to counterattack, delivering a devastating blow that left his adversary reeling. As the battle raged on, Wang Ding's calculated maneuvers and unwavering resolve began to turn the tide in his favor. With each decisive strike, he asserted his dominance over his adversaries, forcing them onto the defensive. However, amidst the chaos, Yi Zhongming seized a moment of opportunity, darting toward the monster baby with the golden bag in a daring attempt to claim the coveted treasure for himself. Yet, even as Yi Zhongming closed in on his prize, a sense of foreboding gripped him. The sudden intervention of these powerful adversaries had thrown his plans into disarray, and now, with victory within his grasp, he faced the daunting prospect of confronting them head-on. As he braced himself for the inevitable clash, the outcome of the battle hung in the balance, with each decision and action shaping the course of his fate in this unforgiving world. Yi Zhongming's timing was impeccable, honed over a decade of life-and-death experiences in the unforgiving world of the apocalypse. As the spearman launched his attack, Yi Zhongming seized the opportunity to snatch the bag amidst the chaos of battle. His instincts told him that trouble would follow, but he was prepared to face whatever came his way. Dodging bullets with the agility of a seasoned survivor, Yi Zhongming swiftly maneuvered behind the towering green monster that had dispatched the water elemental. The creature unwittingly shielded him from Li Shujun's gunfire, allowing Yi Zhongming to slip away into a nearby street. Meanwhile, Wang Ding seethed with frustration, feeling played by fate itself as someone brazenly stole the treasure baby from under his nose. Anger fueled his pursuit, driving him to track down the elusive thief at any cost. In the heat of battle, the strongman and the level 2 soldier clashed with ferocious intensity, their blows reverberating through the square with each bone-jarring impact. Despite sustaining injuries, Wang Ding managed to break free from the strongman's grasp, launching a counterattack that sent both combatants reeling. As reinforcements arrived, the skirmish escalated into a deadly confrontation, with Li Shujun's reckless actions leading to the demise of his own men at the hands of the three-man team. In the aftermath, only Brother Deng, Ali, and Little Tong remained, their resolve unshaken despite their injuries. Determined to salvage their mission, Brother Deng rallied his companions, urging them to press on despite the odds. With grim determination, they set out to reclaim their lost prize, their sights set on the elusive thief who had outwitted them all. Meanwhile, Wang Ding pursued his quarry through the streets, his senses tingling with an unfamiliar sense of danger. Something about the mysterious young man who had stolen the bag unnerved him, stirring doubts and uncertainty within him. Unbeknownst to Yi Zhongming, his actions had not gone unnoticed, sending ripples of unease through the ranks of the two-star evolved. As he raced toward his goal, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched, a lurking threat shadowing his every move. With his sights set on the chained prisoner, Yi Zhongming pressed forward, his determination unwavering in the face of mounting danger. Little did he know that his actions would set into motion a chain of events that would test his mettle like never before, plunging him into a deadly game of cat and mouse with foes both old and new. Captain Ye's eyes burned with determination amidst the chaos and despair of battle. The purple cloud ants had dealt devastating blows to his team, leaving them reeling and outnumbered by the relentless tide of zombies and mutated creatures. With their backs against the wall, Captain Yi knew they had to make a desperate move to survive. As soldiers around him succumbed to panic and despair, Captain Yi made a bold decision to break through the enemy lines and charge towards the chained prisoner. Despite the risks, it was their only hope for escape, and Captain Yi knew they had to seize the opportunity or face certain doom. With grim resolve, Captain Yi led his team into the heart of the battle, pushing forward against overwhelming odds. Despite the fear and uncertainty gnawing at his soul, he refused to back down, driven by a fierce determination to see his men through to safety. Meanwhile, Yi Zhongming found himself caught in a deadly crossfire on a three-way street, surrounded by hordes of zombies, mutants, and monsters. Every step forward was a struggle against death itself, as he fought tooth and nail to survive amidst the chaos and carnage. Wang Ding, too, faced his own trials and tribulations, his path fraught with danger and uncertainty. Without the protection of immunity potions, he had to tread carefully, relying on his two-star evolved strength to navigate the treacherous battlefield. But amidst the chaos, a sudden confrontation with the chained prisoner changed everything. Yi Zhongming's shot pierced the creature's defenses, sending it into a rage-fueled frenzy that reverberated throughout the battlefield. As the chained prisoner turned its wrath towards Yi Zhongming, Captain Yi and his team seized the opportunity to break through enemy lines and make their escape. In the thick of battle, Yi Zhongming and Wang Ding clashed, their confrontation a testament to the raw power and skill of two-star evolved beings. Despite sustaining injuries, both warriors fought on, their determination unshaken as they clashed in a fierce struggle for survival. As the smoke cleared and the dust settled, Yi Zhongming bore the marks of his encounter with Wang Ding, blood staining his lips as he faced his formidable opponent. And in that moment, amidst the chaos and uncertainty of battle, a new threat emerged, the Black Soul Swallow, a force to be reckoned with in the unforgiving world of the apocalypse. Black Soul Swallow was a skill with a steep price, known to only a few who dared to tread the dangerous path of evolution. Yi Zhongming had heard rumors about a mysterious black card that granted unimaginable power but came with dire consequences. The card bore the image of a skull, a harbinger of the dark pact it offered. Those who dared to use the Black Soul Swallow could elevate their evolutionary level by consuming the life force of beings of equal or lower level. For a one-star evolved like Yi Zhongming, swallowing a level 1 mutated creature would elevate him to a 2-star evolved. However, the price was steep, a shortened lifespan, excruciating pain, and rumored side effects such as infertility and emotional numbness. Moreover, there was a strict restriction on its use. Only those below 3-star evolved could harness its power. Any attempt by a higher-ranked evolved would result in their soul being consumed, leading to immediate death. Those who dared to use the Black Soul Swallow bore a black skull tattoo, a mark of their acceptance of the Dark Pact and its consequences. Yi Zhongming realized that Wang Ding's rapid evolution to level 2 in just 30 hours was likely the result of using this forbidden skill. Despite the power it granted, Yi Zhongming knew the risks were too great, and he found solace in the fact that he had chosen the path of honor and integrity over personal gain. As the confrontation between Yi Zhongming and Wang Ding intensified, a new threat emerged in the form of the chained prisoner's wrath. Yi Zhongming's shot had provoked the creature, unleashing its fury upon the battlefield and adding to the chaos. Despite the danger, Yi Zhongming stood his ground, refusing to yield to Wang Ding's demands. Instead, he chose to confront the true nature of his adversary, exposing Wang Ding's greed and corruption in the face of adversity. His words struck a chord with those around him, stirring doubt and discontent among Wang Ding's followers. As the tension reached its peak, Yi Zhongming made a bold move, scattering the treasures from the golden bag into the air. The allure of wealth and power proved too great for those present, igniting a fierce scramble as everyone fought to claim their share. In the midst of the chaos, alliances shifted and new threats emerged, leaving everyone on edge and uncertain of what the future held. With the fate of the treasures hanging in the balance, the true test of strength and determination was about to unfold. Liang Chuyin wielded her long whip with finesse, swiftly ensnaring a treasure and securing it in her grasp. Alongside her, Mo Yi and others emerged from the shadows, their arrival turning the tide of the battle in their favor. Thanks to Mo Yi's timely intervention, Liang Chuyin received orders from Yi Zhongming, prompting her to seek refuge in the chaos. Their coordinated assault granted them a decisive advantage. Mo Yi, displaying both agility and skill, swiftly claimed a treasure for herself. With a single fluid motion, she passed another treasure to Park Xiuying, ensuring their team's success in the frantic scramble for wealth. In the blink of an eye, 3 treasures were snatched away, leaving the remaining contenders reeling in shock. Despite Wang Ding's proximity and strength, he found himself unable to prevent the swift acquisition of the treasures. Frustrated by his failure, he redoubled his efforts, finally managing to seize one of the elusive prizes. Meanwhile, amidst the chaos, a stray stone struck Qianlong, causing him to stagger back, clutching his injured stomach. Concerned for his friend's well-being, Chengzai rushed to his aid, only to find himself struggling under the weight of Qianlong's injuries. Fueled by the protective instincts of brotherhood, Little Tiger, disregarding all else, aimed his gun at Wang Ding in a reckless attempt to avenge his injured sibling. Wang Ding, caught off guard by the sudden attack, narrowly dodged the bullet, narrowly avoiding a potentially fatal blow. As tensions reached a boiling point, Captain Yi, sensing an opportunity, aimed his gun at Mo Yi, intending to seize the treasures for himself. However, Chengzai's quick thinking and timely intervention disrupted Captain Ye's plans, allowing Mo Yi to evade the imminent threat. In the midst of the chaos, the trio, seizing the momentary distraction, launched a coordinated assault, overwhelming Captain Yi and his forces. Despite their numerical advantage, Captain Ye's troops hesitated to intervene, their attention diverted by the encroaching horde of zombies. Amidst the chaos, Chief Lu, recognizing the dire situation, issued a bold command to open fire. Shocked by the order to turn their weapons on their own allies, Xia Lei and others hesitated, torn between loyalty to their comrades and obedience to their commanding officer. As gunfire erupted on the battlefield, the line between friend and foe blurred, leaving those caught in the crossfire to question the sanity of those who would turn their weapons on their own allies. In the midst of the madness, one thought echoed in the minds of all present: is this madness or strategy? Yi Zhongming's approach to targeting the ghost metal chains was not merely an impulsive act but rather a calculated maneuver born out of strategic foresight and a keen understanding of his surroundings. While chaos reigned supreme in the battlefield below, Yi Zhongming's focus remained unwavering, his mind constantly analyzing the situation and formulating a plan of action. As the sounds of gunfire echoed through the ruins, mixing with the shouts of combatants and the roars of the chained prisoner, Yi Zhongming's actions stood out as a beacon of determination amidst the turmoil. Each bullet that struck the ghost metal chains sent reverberations through the air, signaling his relentless assault on the formidable creature. The smoke from the ongoing firefight billowed around the ruins, obscuring vision and heightening the sense of urgency among those caught in the midst of the chaos. Yet, amidst the haze, Yi Zhongming's movements were deliberate and calculated, his every action a testament to his unwavering resolve. With each crack that appeared on the surface of the ghost metal, Yi Zhongming's determination seemed to grow stronger, fueling his relentless pursuit of victory. Despite the odds stacked against him, he remained undeterred, his focus solely fixed on weakening the chains and claiming the valuable material for himself. Meanwhile, the conflict between Captain Ye's forces and Chief Lu's men raged on, the intensity of the firefight showing no signs of abating. Amidst the chaos, alliances were tested and loyalties questioned as each side fought fiercely for control of the battlefield and the treasures it held. Wang Ding and Captain Yi, ever the astute observers, watched the unfolding chaos with a keen eye, their minds calculating every possible outcome and strategizing their next move. In the midst of the firefight, they remained calm and composed, waiting patiently for the perfect opportunity to strike. Mo Yi and her companions, having secured 3 treasures, retreated to a safer vantage point, their minds abuzz with plans and strategies for the next phase of their mission. The trio, too, remained vigilant, their senses sharp as they awaited an opening to make their move amidst the chaos. As the smoke began to dissipate, revealing the ruins and the towering figure of the chained prisoner, Yi Zhongming's resolve only seemed to strengthen. With each swing of his blade and each calculated maneuver, he inched closer to his goal, his determination unyielding in the face of adversity. The battlefield, once shrouded in chaos and uncertainty, now bore witness to a clash of wills and a test of courage. Amidst the turmoil, Yi Zhongming stood as a beacon of determination, his unwavering resolve serving as a reminder that victory was within reach, no matter the cost. Yi Zhongming's relentless assault on the ghost metal chains was not merely an impulsive act but rather a calculated maneuver born out of strategic foresight and a keen understanding of his surroundings. While chaos reigned supreme in the battlefield below, Yi Zhongming's focus remained unwavering, his mind constantly analyzing the situation and formulating a plan of action. As the sounds of gunfire echoed through the ruins, mixing with the shouts of combatants and the roars of the chained prisoner, Yi Zhongming's actions stood out as a beacon of determination amidst the turmoil. Each bullet that struck the ghost metal chains sent reverberations through the air, signaling his relentless assault on the formidable creature. The smoke from the ongoing firefight billowed around the ruins, obscuring vision and heightening the sense of urgency among those caught in the midst of the chaos. Yet, amidst the haze, Yi Zhongming's movements were deliberate and calculated, his every action a testament to his unwavering resolve. With each crack that appeared on the surface of the ghost metal, Yi Zhongming's determination seemed to grow stronger, fueling his relentless pursuit of victory. Despite the odds stacked against him, he remained undeterred, his focus solely fixed on weakening the chains and claiming the valuable material for himself. Meanwhile, the conflict between Captain Ye's forces and Chief Lu's men raged on, the intensity of the firefight showing no signs of abating. Amidst the chaos, alliances were tested and loyalties questioned as each side fought fiercely for control of the battlefield and the treasures it held. Wang Ding and Captain Yi, ever the astute observers, watched the unfolding chaos with a keen eye, their minds calculating every possible outcome and strategizing their next move. In the midst of the firefight, they remained calm and composed, waiting patiently for the perfect opportunity to strike. Mo Yi and her companions, having secured 3 treasures, retreated to a safer vantage point, their minds abuzz with plans and strategies for the next phase of their mission. The trio, too, remained vigilant, their senses sharp as they awaited an opening to make their move amidst the chaos. As the smoke began to dissipate, revealing the ruins and the towering figure of the chained prisoner, Yi Zhongming's resolve only seemed to strengthen. With each swing of his blade and each calculated maneuver, he inched closer to his goal, his determination unyielding in the face of adversity. The battlefield, once shrouded in chaos and uncertainty, now bore witness to a clash of wills and a test of courage. Amidst the turmoil, Yi Zhongming stood as a beacon of determination, his unwavering resolve serving as a reminder that victory was within reach, no matter the cost. Mo Yi, Liang Chuyin, and Park Shoying watched in awe as Yi Zhongming continued to fight against the chained prisoner with unmatched determination. Despite the danger and the odds stacked against him, he refused to back down, his unwavering resolve shining through even in the midst of chaos. "Does he want to die?" Liang Chuyin muttered, her eyes wide with disbelief. Little Tiger, ever the curious one, turned to Mo Yi for answers. "Captain, is this a situation?" Mo Yi shot him a sharp look, her tone stern. "Don't talk nonsense. Keep watch and stay safe." Cheng Zhe, meanwhile, remained deep in thought, his gaze fixed on Yi Zhongming's relentless assault. In his hands, he held a card, a mysterious artifact that had appeared amidst the chaos. Hell card type, one-time summon, Hell Demon Dog, the card read. Cheng Zhe couldn't believe his luck. Such a powerful artifact in his hands was beyond his wildest dreams. Yet, as he watched Yi Zhongming's bravery and determination, he couldn't help but feel a pang of regret. If only he had possessed such powers sooner, perhaps things would have been different. Perhaps he could have saved those who had fallen in battle, spared them from the horrors of this apocalyptic world. As Yi Zhongming's battle with the chained prisoner raged on, the intensity of the fight reached new heights. With each strike of his blade, he chipped away at the creature's defenses, inching closer to victory with every blow. Yet, as the battle reached its climax, a sudden turn of events threw everything into chaos. The chained prisoner, enraged by Yi Zhongming's relentless assault, unleashed a devastating attack that sent shockwaves rippling through the ruins. Caught off guard by the ferocity of the creature's onslaught, Yi Zhongming was thrown to the ground, his strength depleted and his body battered. As he lay there, barely conscious, Mo Yi and her companions rushed to his side, their faces filled with concern. "Leave!" Yi Zhongming managed to choke out, his voice barely above a whisper. And with that, he slipped into unconsciousness, his fate hanging in the balance as the battle raged on around him. While Yi Zhongming drifted in and out of consciousness, a faint yet pleasant scent wafted into his nostrils, accompanied by a cool sensation that seemed to soothe his aching body. Slowly, he opened his eyes to find himself face to face with a surprising sight, a white object hovering in front of him. It took him a moment to register what he was seeing, but when realization dawned, he couldn't help but feel a flush of embarrassment. It was a sports bra, snugly encasing something rather sizable, and the woman wearing it was none other than Park Shoying, one of his teachers. As Park Shoying leaned in closer, Yi Zhongming couldn't help but feel a strange sensation, as if his nose was almost touching something he shouldn't be. Hastily, he averted his gaze, hoping to avoid any further awkwardness. However, Park Shoying's voice shattered the silence, her words carrying a mix of annoyance and affection. She berated Yi Zhongming for his seemingly aloof demeanor, accusing him of looking down on others and acting as though he didn't care about anything. Yi Zhongming listened in disbelief, wondering why Park Shoying was suddenly taking on a maternal tone. Wasn't Liang Chuyin the one who usually looked after him? Why was it Park Shoying now, and why was she calling herself his little mom? As Park Shoying continued to ramble on, her words alternating between scolding and endearment, Yi Zhongming couldn't help but feel a sense of bewilderment. He had no recollection of ever having a close relationship with Park Shoying, let alone considering her a maternal figure. Yet, amidst the confusion, Park Shoying's words struck a chord within him. She spoke of the harsh realities of their existence, of fighting for survival in a world overrun by zombies and monsters, of the constant struggle for food and water, and of the treacherous alliances and rivalries that defined their daily lives. Yi Zhongming's mind reeled at the revelation, his thoughts swirling with questions and uncertainties. Why were they being hunted down? What treasures were they fighting over? And why did Park Hsio-ying seem to know so much about his personal life? As Park Hsio-ying bid him to wake up and face the challenges ahead, Yi Zhongming felt a sense of determination rising within him. Despite the chaos and uncertainty that surrounded them, he knew that he couldn't afford to remain passive any longer. With a newfound resolve, Yi Zhongming summoned his strength and pushed himself upright, his gaze sweeping over the faces of those gathered around him. Mo Yi, Liang Chuyin, and Park Hsio-ying looked back at him with a mixture of relief and concern, their eyes conveying a silent message of solidarity and support. In that moment, Yi Zhongming understood that he was not alone, that he had allies willing to stand by his side and face whatever challenges lay ahead. And as he reached out to grasp the ghost medal that Yellow Ball had retrieved for him, he knew that the time had come to take action and seize control of his destiny once more. Yi Zhongming breathed a sigh of relief as his fingers brushed against the icy cold surface of the medal. It was a small comfort amidst the chaos that surrounded them. Recalling the events that led to his current situation, Yi Zhongming remembered the pivotal decision he made when he was being pursued by Wang Ding. He had turned back to confront the monster baby, not only to ensure the creature's demise but also to create an opportunity for Yellow Ball to join the fray. The summoning horn he possessed was effective on all mutated life forms except humans, which meant he had to strategically position Yellow Ball away from the danger. Only after the monster baby's death could Yi Zhongming exert control over Yellow Ball, using a reinforced whistle to signal the faithful dog to join the battle. Yellow Ball's timely intervention had thwarted Wang Ding's attempts to seize the ghost medal, ultimately saving Yi Zhongming from further harm. However, the exertion had taken its toll, and Yi Zhongming had slipped into unconsciousness soon after. Upon regaining consciousness, Yi Zhongming learned from Park Hsio-ying about the events that transpired during his 4-day coma. Mo Yi had led the group in their retreat, navigating the perilous landscape as the chain prisoner wreaked havoc with its devastating lasers. Despite their escape, their troubles were far from over. Wang Ding and Captain Yi continued to pursue them relentlessly, driven by their desire to claim the treasures they possessed. This constant threat forced Mo Yi, Liang Chuyin, and Park Hsio-ying to divide their attention between caring for Yi Zhongming and fending off their pursuers. Tensions within the group escalated as Wang Zhen and his cohorts grew increasingly aggressive, demanding compensation for their perceived contributions to the group's survival. Wang Zhen's brazen attitude and thinly veiled threats only served to further strain the already fraught atmosphere. As Wang Zhen pressed his demands, Yi Zhongming remained calm, his gaze steady as he considered the situation. Despite Wang Zhen's claims of saving his life and aiding in their survival, Yi Zhongming knew that their actions were driven more by self-interest than genuine altruism. When Mo Yi presented the treasures they had acquired, Yi Zhongming's keen eyes immediately noticed that one item was missing. Sensing the tension in the air, Cheng Zhe hesitated before reluctantly producing a card from his pocket. Yi Zhongming accepted the items with a measured expression, his mind already calculating their next move. Among the treasures was a recipe scroll, its contents promising to enhance their stamina, a valuable asset in their perilous journey through the apocalypse. Yi Zhongming remained composed despite Wang Zhen's escalating demands. His gaze swept over the group, assessing their reactions as he carefully calculated his next move. Acknowledging Wang Zhen's dissatisfaction, Yi Zhongming reached into his bag once more, retrieving another vial of liquid. "This is a strength-enhancing potion," he announced, holding up the vial for all to see. "It will temporarily boost your physical strength, allowing you to perform feats beyond your usual capabilities." The mention of a strength-enhancing potion piqued the interest of Wang Zhen and his men. In a world where physical prowess often determined one's survival, such a potion held immense value. However, before they could voice their approval, Yi Zhongming continued, "But I must emphasize that these potions are not freely given. They are offered in exchange for a fair division of the treasures we possess." His words hung in the air, the implication clear: if Wang Zhen and his group wished to reap the benefits of these potions, they would need to agree to Yi Zhongming's terms. Wang Zhen's expression darkened as he weighed his options. On one hand, the allure of the potions was undeniable. They represented a significant step toward survival and dominance in the harsh world they now inhabited. On the other hand, yielding to Yi Zhongming's demands would mean relinquishing their claim to the treasures they had coveted. After a tense moment of deliberation, Wang Zhen begrudgingly nodded his assent. "Fine," he grumbled, his voice laced with resentment. "We agree to your terms." With the agreement reached, Yi Zhongming signaled for Liang Chuyin to distribute the potions to Wang Zhen and his men. As each member of the group received their allotted potion, a sense of anticipation and determination filled the air. For Wang Zhen and his cohorts, the promise of immunity and evolution offered a glimmer of hope in a world fraught with danger and uncertainty. And for Yi Zhongming, it was a strategic maneuver that ensured his group's continued survival while maintaining control over their hard-earned treasures. As the exchange concluded, a fragile truce settled over the group, each member acutely aware of the fragile balance of power that governed their interactions. In the unforgiving landscape of the apocalypse, alliances were forged and broken with each passing day, and only time would tell which path would lead to salvation or ruin. The gunshot echoed through the tense atmosphere, reverberating in the silence that followed. Wang Zhen's lifeless body slumped to the ground, a crimson pool spreading beneath him as his eyes stared vacantly into the distance. Chaos erupted among his men as they scrambled to comprehend the sudden turn of events. Some reached for their weapons, ready to retaliate, while others froze in shock, their minds struggling to process the abruptness of their leader's demise. But amidst the turmoil, Yi Zhongming remained composed, his gaze fixed firmly on the fallen figure of Wang Zhen. There was no remorse in his expression, only a steely resolve that hinted at the depths of his determination. "It seems the lesson has been learned," he remarked calmly, his voice cutting through the tension like a blade. "In the apocalypse, strength is paramount. Those who are greedy without the power to back it up will inevitably meet their end." His words hung heavy in the air, a stark reminder of the harsh realities they faced in this new world. For Wang Zhen and his followers, it was a lesson learned too late, a cautionary tale of the consequences of unchecked ambition. As the dust began to settle, a sense of unease lingered among the survivors, their minds grappling with the sudden shift in power dynamics. But for Yi Zhongming and his allies, it was a victory hard-earned, a testament to their resilience in the face of adversity. With Wang Zhen's threat extinguished, they could now focus on navigating the challenges that lay ahead, armed with newfound strength and a renewed sense of purpose. And as they prepared to continue their journey through the unforgiving landscape of the apocalypse, they knew that their survival depended not only on their wits and resourcefulness but on the bonds of trust and camaraderie that bound them together. For in this world where every decision carried life-or-death consequences, it was only by standing united that they stood a chance of overcoming the trials that awaited them. As Yi Zhongming sat in the dimly lit room, the small, golden token cradled in his palm, he couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought him to this moment. It was a journey fraught with danger, loss, and unexpected twists of fate, yet somehow, against all odds, he had managed to survive. He cast his mind back to the early days of the apocalypse, when chaos had reigned supreme and the world had descended into madness. It had been a time of uncertainty and fear, as people struggled to come to terms with the sudden collapse of civilization. Yi Zhongming remembered the panic and confusion that had gripped society, the desperate scramble for resources, and the savage brutality of those who would stop at nothing to ensure their own survival. In those dark days, Yi Zhongming had been forced to confront the harsh realities of the new world head-on. He had witnessed unspeakable horrors and committed acts of violence that haunted him still. But through it all, he had clung to a flicker of hope, a belief that somewhere, amidst the ruins of the old world, there was still a glimmer of light. And then, like a beacon cutting through the darkness, he had stumbled upon the golden token, a relic from a bygone era, a symbol of everything he had lost and everything he still hoped to regain. It had been a chance discovery, unearthed from the rubble of a once thriving city, but to Yi Zhongming, it had felt like a sign that he was destined for something greater, something beyond mere survival. With each passing day, as he struggled to rebuild his life amidst the ruins of the old world, Yi Zhongming had carried the token with him, its weight a constant reminder of the journey he had undertaken. He had faced countless challenges and overcome numerous obstacles, all the while clinging to the hope that one day, he would find a way to unlock the token's hidden power. And now, as he held it in his hand once more, he felt a surge of determination coursing through his veins. He knew that the road ahead would not be easy, that there would be many more trials and tribulations to overcome. But he also knew that he was not alone, that he had allies by his side, friends who had stood by him through thick and thin, and who would continue to support him in the days to come. With renewed purpose, Yi Zhongming made a silent vow to himself. He would not rest until he had unlocked the full potential of the golden token, until he had harnessed its power to forge a new destiny for himself in this brave new world. And as he gazed out into the night, his heart filled with hope and determination, he knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, he would face them head-on, with courage and resilience. For he was Yi Zhongming, survivor of the apocalypse, and nothing could stand in his way.